All right. I guess we starting it all over, man.
Yeah,
All right. Here we go.
what's going on, yeah?
Back with another one. Back with another one. Episode one officially. Here I'm Darius. I'm here with my cousin Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy? How you feeling? How you living?
I'm feeling good, living pretty good. Came off a hard week, but weekend's here. About to start it off good with a nice podcast, nice episode. We got a lot to run down. Looking forward to. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We blessed. Blessed to be here. Blessed to see another day.
Definitely.
No games. No games, just business
Mm-hmm.
podcast. Episode
Mm-hmm.
one. What we getting into today?
We're getting into a little bit of everything. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. We're gonna start off with the Lakers. My fault. We're not gonna start off with the Lakers. We're gonna start off with the receivers. We're gonna start off with Devonta Adams being projected as the number one receiver going into this upcoming season with his new team, the Las Vegas Raiders. We're gonna talk about our top tens, debate that, see what you got to say. How you do with your top five, top 10 lists.
Oh
But
yeah,
you stop.
Drake
But
London. Nah, I'm joking.
oh man. All right, so then after that, we're gonna get into the cornerbacks, the guys that's gonna line up right across from those guys. There's some dogs over there too, especially in this area. You got to be a dog to line up against those guys. So
Oh
we're gonna
yeah.
talk about that, and then we'll talk about the Lakers. We'll talk about Jeannie Buss' expectations, what she's expecting of this, storied franchise, one of the best ever. She's expecting a competitive team, and we're going to dive into how do they get back to the top, how do they get to the postseason.
Yep.
And the last thing we will touch on is the in-season tournament that they're speaking on. The owners are speaking on that might come in the 2023-2024 season, um, and how it affects these players' legacies. How we will be affected in general, the fan base, the owners, and the players. We'll break it down and let's get to it.
Cool. I like it. I like it. So let's start it off, man. Let's start it off. I guess we're gonna get into the topic of top receivers in the game.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right. What you want? You want me to start it off, man?
I want you to start it off, man.
Okay.
What you think about Bleacher Report putting
Okay.
him number one? What you think about
I love it. I love it.
it?
When I look at a receiver in this day and age, there's three things I look for in a receiver. Number one is ability to route run, ability to
Okay.
create space. Um, Kyrie said dribbling the basketball is a art. I agree. Route running is an art. Not many people can run crisp routes and
Mm-hmm.
separate from defenders, but the best can. And second thing is to be able to the ability to catch the football. Because if you can't catch, you can't play.
Right.
Third thing, the ability to run after catch. What can you do after you catch the football? What plays can you get for me and the team after you catch the football? And Devontae hits all three, man. He's been dominant. You know, he does have the help from Aaron Rodgers, a great quarterback, a future Hall of Famer. But Devontae himself he's just that guy. Hey, I'm taking him. I'm taking him on my team any day of the week. So, what you think? You think Devontae is the best in the league? What you think?
This question, a lot of times when people ask it, you can answer in a lot of different ways. Um, will he be the best this year? No, I believe Cooper Cup will be. I believe
Mm,
the second year with Matt Stafford is gonna it's gonna be something else. And you're talking about his first year with Derek Carr. Yes, that's his guy. Yes, that's his college guy. But they are different players than what they were in college. This is a different system. They have a new coach. The Rams don't have any of that. It's a perfect recipe for Cooper Cup to have a better season. If I'm talking about talent, I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins. I believe he can do all those things that you spoke
wow.
on with Adams. Yes, he's more injury prone, but yes, he's been in worse situations. He's never had Aaron Rodgers. He's had many me back there running around. I love Kyler Murray. He's had him with a trash line. He's had
Wow. Many
Deshaun
me.
Watson with a trash line. Like Hopkins gets a lot of his stuff past 30 to 40 yards with a trash
Mm,
line. Like Imagine if he had a Rodgers, a Rodgers type of guy. Derek Carr will be able to do some of that. I believe the running game will be able to take away from some of the yards and some of the looks that Adams gets, so it won't look as good. But if we're talking about who's the best, I believe he is top two. The only dude I would take over him is Hopkins. I believe he is better than Cooper Kupp, but I believe Cooper
Wow.
Kupp will have better numbers than him this year.
I guess I'm gonna have to hit your top 10 for you to put D Hop in the. I love D Hop. I agree. He's a dog. He's dominated this league for a very long time, but I personally think he fell off just a little bit. Um, and you're gonna see where he lands on my top 10, if he lands on my top 10. So
What
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start it off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start it off, and I'm gonna say Devonta Adams is the best receiver in the league at this time. 5 out of the last 6 years, double-digit touchdowns, and then he also has the ability to create space and separate from a defender. One, if not the best route runner in the league. Cooper Kupp, you win the Triple Crown. Not many people have done it. Last player to do it was Steve Smith back in 2005. You got it. Hands down, number 2 best receiver in the league. Stefan Diggs is number 3. Again, the ability to route run. When I look at a receiver in this day and age, ability to separate from a defender, ability to route run, ability to catch the football. He made first team All-Pro and led the league in receptions his first year with Buffalo. And he upped his touchdowns last year from his first year. With what's the dude, Gabriel, who's stepping up to be a solid number 2 receiver for Buffalo. Number 4, Tyree Kill. One of the best deep threat receivers possibly we can arguably say of all time. One of the best deep threat receivers in this league.
I agree.
But let's see what he can do with Tua. He had Pat Mahomes to kind of help him out. Tyreek is the type of guy sometimes to kind of, I don't want to say hide in the offense, but he can have really big games where he'll just go for 200 plus, and then he'll have like a really, really quiet game. But he's still a dominant receiver. And then we get into like a tricky situation here. This is where it kind of gets a little fishy. Because at number 5, I got Justin Jefferson. Young, talented, big play guy. Rookie year, second year, back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver. And he says he eventually will be the best receiver in the league. I think he can potentially back that up with his words, with actions. Jamar Chase comes in at number 6. The way this man came out as a rookie, dominating the league, and he has T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd on his team, playing with his college quarterback and Joe Mixon in the backfield. That offense has the potential to be one of, if not the best offense in the league, potentially. Joe Burrow's in your top 10 quarterback. So we're going to get there on another day. But Jamar Chase, you come out as a rookie dominating the league that way. Only thing I need from him is to back it up with a year 2. Let's see what he does in year 2. He stays in top 10. If he falls off, then we'll go from there. Number 7 is Debo. I love Debo a lot. When you say, hey, I want a guy that can play football, I want Debo on my team. But I need Debo to stay healthy. A healthy Debo is a guy I want no matter what. If Debo was consistently healthy, he'll arguably be a top 5 receiver in the league because I could put him in the backfield, I could put him in the slot, I could put him in wildcat, I could put him in kick return. Put Debo at quarterback. We good.
Yeah.
We good. We gonna score touchdowns. Number 8, Mike Evans.
Okay.
6'5", has the most catches against most contested catches in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 years straight of 1,000 yards per year. The production is there.
Right.
And this is where this one's tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is AJ Brown. I have a love-hate relationship with AJ Brown. I just wish he was a little bit more consistent because his physique, his physicality is there.
Right.
But just listen to this. First 2 games of the season, under 50 yards. Then he had a big game over 100. 3 games straight, under 50 yards. In one of those games, under 20 yards. Then he had 3 big games. Then the last 4 games of the season, under 50 yards for receptions. For receiving yards. I just need a little bit more consistency from AJ. Because if he's that number 1, he should be easily getting 1,300 receiving yards per year. And then your boy comes in at number 10, D-Hop. D-Hop has fell to number 10 on my list. Great player, great hands. Probably the greatest hands we've seen since Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And he's had bad quarterback play, and he was on a record high last season for touchdowns until he got hurt. But once players start playing with those PEDs, it just at that age, I just don't see the production still being there like it was before. And he's going to be out for the first 8 games of the year, so he's not going to have the statistical season that you would expect D-Hop to have. They now have Marquise Brown. Let's see what James Conner can do. They picked up the tight end, McBride from Colorado State. You still got AJ Green there. Kyler just got big money. I just don't see that offense still being what they were last year and the year before. So that's why because it's D-Hop, he's still in my top 10.
Okay. I would like to respond to 2 things: the D-Hop and the AJ. Start with the AJ. Well, I'm gonna start with the D-Hop. D-Hop, he's coming into the season right where the Cardinals typically decline. The Cardinals typically start off very well, similar to the Chargers. They're going to look for something. They're going to need something in the middle of the season to get them that propel going into the postseason. I think D-Hop can be that. D-Hop, when you're talking about everything a receiver can do, he can do them all, and then some. He has that like that big man type of game. Like he's gonna dunk on you. He's gonna moss you. He's a big play threat, similar to Tyreek, but just in a different way. Like combine Tyreek Evans and Tyree Kill and Mike Evans. That's D-Hop. He's gonna dunk on you from long range, and this is with minimal quarterback play. So that's why I'm gonna give him that praise. And typically I would, deduct points in a sense because of injuries. But I feel like his situation is what's caused his injuries more than anything. And I haven't really seen much decline. Now, as far as AJ Brown, you're saying he's inconsistent, and those are inconsistent numbers. But if you match those numbers with Ryan Tannehill, I'm sure, because we're talking about an inconsistent quarterback.
Okay.
That really matters.
Okay.
You seen what he did in the postseason, man. Like very, very great first half, and then he just shut the joint in the second. I don't even know what he was thinking, but And that's not AJ's fault. And now he's going into a situation with another inconsistent, unproven quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Like we can't have AJ up there in my estimation just because of that. If you just saw my ability, yeah, maybe so. It's definitely a debate. But as far as projection next year, like I'm not sure. Like you're gonna see my top 10, and I'm a combine a little bit of both, the player's ability and where their team is and where I believe they'll go. Because Hopkins, I believe we'll see his effect, like I said in the beginning of middle of the season, right when it's needed. His ability is unmatched. I don't think anybody in the top five, either our top five, besides maybe Jamar Chase, and I don't think you put him in your top five. I think he was six.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar came just outside the top five.
So no one in our top five, in my estimation, can do what Hopkins does. And I mean, dunk on you. Athletic ability, uh, like just mossing you down the field. If you want to come back a 12 back to 10, if you want to end, he can do that. He can be a red zone threat. He can. The only one who's more versatile, you could argue, is Tyree Kill, Debo Samuel, and even they can't dunk on you per se. And when I say dunk on you, you know what I mean, the Randy Moss effect. Let's get down to it. DeAndre Hopkins for me is number one, mostly based off
Wow.
ability. Number two, DeAndre Adams, ability again, but help also. That combination is what drops him low for me when it comes to comparing him to Hopkins. Adams has no flaw, but he also doesn't have something that's um, untouchable. We can name other
Okay.
receivers like Justin Jefferson. He's very similar to DeAndre Adams. His situation isn't similar though. Jamar Chase, he has more ability to me than, for example, speed. For for example, down the field, big playmaking 40, 50-yard plays. Jamar Chase is a bigger threat, similar to Hopkins in that fashion. Number three, Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup is a specialist. He reminds me of I don't know, an elite run protector. He's just as elite at that. He's not going to give you the explosive 40, 50-yard play, but he's going to be consistent. He's gonna catch the most balls.
You're gonna
You
be
can
that guy you can count on.
exactly, you can hang your hat on that. Um, and just that effect on top of the Super Bowl confidence, on top of the camaraderie. This is the second year with an elite quarterback. I think it's going to bode well for them. Number four, I got Tyree Kill. Similar to what you were saying as far as Debo, he's just the ultimate utility. He's an athlete. He's not a position player. He could put him anywhere. And he's
Yeah.
going to eat. He's going to affect the game in different ways. He's going to get doubled more so than other guys. Those big receivers, a lot of times you just put your best corner on them. Just go to work one on one, body them
Yeah.
up. You contest it. You can't contest Tyreek Hill's speed. So you have to account for him with two guys, and that changes the whole dynamics of your team. If you have a running game along with Tyreek Hill, the defense is in trouble. Number five, Jamar Chase. He reminds me so much of Antonio Brown in his prime. This man,
Mm.
his route running flawless, strength flawless. He's not elite when it comes to range, or when I say range, I mean height. Like every his catch rate is big. Is as if he's, but he's about 6'1", 6'2". Um, and I believe the combination, his ability with the combination of a elite, accurate quarterback on top of the weapons you did speak on elevates him. Those weapons, in a sense, makes him better than what he actually is. Because
Exactly.
right, and I would say the same for actually the guy I'm about to name, Stefan Diggs. You had him a little higher on your list. I got him at six.
I did.
Stefan Diggs, Josh Allen to me is the top two quarterback in the league. If you telling me Jamar Chase had Josh Allen, I'm not saying Joe Burrow is that far off from Josh Allen because he's not that far off in my eyes. But Josh Allen has a dimension. He is the run game. So you're talking about a quarterback who is the run game, who can throw, who can sling it like only maybe three other quarterbacks in the NFL, four other quarterbacks in NFL history could. Dan Marino, Pat Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. Only those four can throw to me like Josh Allen. And you're combining that with Stephon Diggs' ability. You could argue he has more help or just as much help as Jamar Chase, but I got him at six. Mike Evans, number seven. He has the GOAT beside him. He has Chris Godwin beside him. He has a running game beside him. He has a great defense behind him. But he's more so like Cooper Cup, one dimensional. He's not huge plays. Like he's not gonna kill you with speed. He's gonna break you down. He's gonna chop you
He,
down the field.
he's that reliable threat.
Right, red zone, big threat, stuff like that. But he's great at what he does. Debo, similar to Tyreek, but with more power, less speed,
Hmm.
more power, still effective. and in a great system. His system elevates him. He may not have the tools. Beside him, George Kittle is really nice, but the coach is the tool. The coach's mind is the tool in this sense. When it comes to Justin Jefferson, he's number 9 for me. Justin Jefferson's situation drops him down for me. His coach is sort of like the AJ Brown, his coach. His quarterback is sort of like the AJ Brown situation. Kirk Cousins only going to get you but so much. You're gonna have great numbers. Gonna be empty calories. You're not gonna do nothing. I'm sorry. You're not gonna affect the league in a way that results to wins. And we're seeing receivers on this list that will affect winning. Justin Jefferson's not doing that just yet. Keenan Allen, number 10, partially similar to Jamar Chase. Not as much big playability, but the situation is perfect. His ability is similar to Devonta Adams, not far off. It's not like Devonta Adams has crazy speed. Not like Devonta Adams has crazy leaping ability over Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's route run is a slight touch, is like Sprite as opposed to Sierra Mist. It's a slight touch lower, but it's there. Honorable mentions. Honorable mention. That. Amari Cooper.
Whoa.
I'll leave it there.
Whoa.
Honorable mention.
Whoa.
Over AJ Brown. You talking about Deshaun's coming. He's coming.
My honorable mention will be Keenan Allen. I love Keenan Allen. Again, very technical. Not a fast guy, but his route running ability is just top notch. Sure. You could easily say he's a top 5 route runner in the league. I like your take when you brought up Justin Jefferson, that he doesn't change the bar on the win scale. I like that. Even though I think if he had a better QB than Kirk, but Kirk is like that old reliable, like he's not going to lose you the game, but he's also not going to win you the game. But I do like that point. Only one I just don't agree with is D-Hop still being the number 1 receiver in the league. Like I said, he's D-Hop, so he's in my top 10. But there's a couple guys that can, I think, can take that throne over him, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna have to get to the next topic. We're gonna leave this for another day. And where we at next?
We get into them cornerbacks, the dudes that lining up right across from the guys, looking them eye to eye. Potentially, sometimes some of them want to sag off, and that's another topic for another day. We're gonna talk about the best of the best. We're gonna run it down. Let me hear your top 10, my fault. Top 10 corners in the league.
Top 10 corners in the league. I gotta start it off with my man Jalen Ramsey. He could shut down a whole side of the football field and still talk to you crazy. Like, even if you beat him on a play, he's still gonna talk to you like he that guy, because he is that guy. I could put him at safety, I could put him at nickel, and he could lock down your best player. Jair Alexander, very young zone corner that can also lock down the side of the field. He was hurt last year. I want to see a bounce back come back from him. That then leads me to some lockup guys in this area here. First, starting off with Tre'Davious White. He can move to any side of the football field, lock your best receiver down man to man. Then I'm going to go with a dog. Even though he plays for the Saints, he's a dog. Marshawn Lattimore.
He is.
He's just oh, man. I love physical man-to-man corners, and that's what he is. Then number 5 is going to be Xavier Howard. I also like guys that can not only play man, but can also cause your offense. It could create turnovers, and that's what Xavier could do. Yes. Number 6 going to be J.C. Jackson, a guy that can get me 17 interceptions in 2 years. I want that guy on my football team. Only thing with JC is that he is a Bill Belichick product. What can he do with the Chargers? Because from history, defensive players that come out of that Patriot system typically don't do well in other people's systems, other teams' systems. So let's see what J.C. Jackson could do this year. We're going off his past. And number 7 is where everyone is going to be mad at me, but I'm going to tell you why he's at number 7. Young guy, A.J. Tyrell, second team All-Pro. He ranked first in yards per coverage snaps, yards per reception, and completion rate. That's all from Pro Football Focus. I got that from. He played over 1,000 snaps, and he was only targeted 66 times. They're not even looking his way because he's clamping up on that side of the field. My boy A.J. Tyrell is in the top 10. Take it or leave it. I'm leaving it right there. And then we're going to come in at number 8, Marlon Humphreys, 6'2", 6'1", dog, man-to-man. Denzel Ward comes in at number 9. And number 10 for me is Stefan Diggs. You give up big plays, but Dallas needs to complement that. I need better safeties to help my corner. That's when fair. He gets 12 interceptions. I need someone there to back him up.
That's fair.
Because I want him to be aggressive. I can give up those plays because I believe in him to give me that play back. Go get me the football. 12 interceptions. Hey, I take it all day. I don't care how many yards you're giving up. We got to get better players on the back end to help assist you on the front end.
Okay. Not too tight about your list, man. You know, you threw your homer, AJ in there. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that one real quick before we get into.
I want to hear
my top 10. He isn't getting targeted like that because the Falcons secondary is garbage.
Okay.
Why would you pick on the strongest dude when you got the weakest link over here? Here, boom, boom. We throwing over here. Like, what? Of course he's not getting targeted like that. And once he does, I'm not saying he's not going to be top 10.
Hey, Casey Hayward, he ain't a little boy. So we're going to see.
Yeah, y'all just picked him up this year, right?
Yep.
Who?
Casey Hayward, AJ Tyrell. We're going to see. We're going to see.
Casey will be the number 1 corner this year, up until maybe, postseason.
AJ Tyrell is only 22, 23 years old. I'm okay.
I'm okay. I agree. He has time. I'm actually we agree about a lot. It's like just maybe like 1 or 2 off, but let's see. Jalen Ramsey, number 1. He gives me that Patrick Beverly, Gary Payton vibe. But he back it up better than Patrick Beverly, and he's gonna be greater than Gary Payton. Like he's a different level. Jair Alexander, dog doing it in the cold. that says a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta bring up that temperature. But yeah, if he can stay healthy, he definitely will be one of the top corners of all time. Honestly, he's that good. Marlon Humphreys, he's my number 3. I know he's been injury prone lately, but his ability is crazy, and he fits into that Ravens defense like no other corner could besides Jalen Ramsey on this list. Like and I feel like as he gets older, he's gonna be one of the better safeties going forward. Because I think they'll transition. Tre'Davious White, he's number 4 for me. Another guy who's injury prone, but his ability is crazy. You could argue that defense helps his ability be maximized in a sense, but he's been doing this for a while. He's a hip to hip. I'm gonna ride you. I'm in your pocket type of corner. There's not many of those in today's game. Marshawn Lattimore comes in number 5 for me. His speed is what causes me to pause when it comes to bringing him to the top 3 spot. But he's still a dog. I see Mike Evans get the best of him sometimes, and I'm just like, imagine if there was these guys.
No, he got Mike Evans numbers right now. You got to see his numbers. No, he's killing Mike Evans.
We got to pull that up.
We got to pull up the stats. He's killing Mike Evans.
And to my point with the Mike Evans take, if anybody that you should be killing, it should be, in my estimation, a bigger receiver. It should be those smaller receivers that give you issue. You should be killing those bigger receivers who can't do much down the field.
Okay, I get what you're saying. You mean Mike Evans should be killing Marshawn?
No, I'm saying Marshawn should be killing Mike Evans.
Yes, because he doesn't have the speed to keep up with a Tyree or a Jalen Waddle or those type of guys.
Right.
So because he's so physical, Mike Evans, because he's a physical receiver, he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't expect that from a guy like that.
True.
Yeah. So it's easier for Marshawn to play.
Right,
But
right,
yeah,
right.
he definitely got Mike Evans' number.
I definitely want to see that because
Oh yeah,
as a Brady fan, I see what Mike Evans be doing to Marshall. I'm not saying he be killing him. I'm saying it looks like a nice battle, and if it's a nice battle with someone with lacking speed, to the point you just was making. But number 6, Xavier Howard, like you were saying, he takes away the ball and he elevates the Dolphins to a place where they shouldn't really be. I thought their defense was actually going to be better. Byron Jones, the other opposite corner, like he sort of fell off. I don't know what happened. And then
yeah,
they lost a lot of their guys up front, like, but he's still keeping that defense to where it needs to be. And then number 7, I have Denzel Ward. He has something to prove with that money, and I believe he will
for
do that.
sure.
J.C. Jackson, I believe he is a New England product, and we know how that goes typically. But he has something that New England would never have because we're too stingy with our money. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. The pass rush is
Oh
going to
yeah,
make him a better, better coverage guy, and he's not going to be on the island as much. He's going to have
hmm
help. His responsibility in New England was much more. So now you can be able to see him play football in a different way. He was playing man to man on an island with Devin McCourty. Now you got Derwin James, like, and that's if he's not in the box. I mean, like we got a lot of options down there.
and Asante Samuel Jr. is there too, playing the nickel. It's gonna be a shoot.
That's going
We
that needs
we
to be
we gonna we
achieved.
gonna get into the top secondary, but
We
that
definitely.
Chargers secondary, just
Mm-hmm.
like that Chargers D line,
Mm-hmm.
can compete with the best of the best.
Definitely gonna get into that. Number 9, we're gonna get into Darius. Well, I'm gonna say it's Darius Slay. Darius Slade is
Ooh,
not working with much. I mean, you got Fletcher Cox down there, but he's been doing it for a long time. He's been doing it for a long time. He's not your quote unquote sexy corner, but he gets the job done. His numbers are flawless. You want to talk about not getting thrown at? Yes, he's been in bad situations, similar to AJ Terrell, but it's been bad situations for a long time, and he's not been thrown at. And for me, number 10, y'all gonna be like, what the hell? Marcus Peters. When he
ooh,
plays, and you talking about adding him
ooh,
with Humphreys, like they are gonna maximize each other in a different way. The
ooh,
Ravens will be a force to be reckoned with. Honorable mention: AJ Terrell, uh, Kendall
killing me,
Fuller.
man.
Kendall Fuller is legit. Stefan Gilmore. Do not forget about him. AJ Terrell is. Wait, slow down, young man. Not just slow down.
Stefan's getting a little older.
He is
He's not the old Stefan that he used to be.
true, true.
But
I
he's
agree.
what? He's like 32 years old. So
He going on the Colts squad though. He gonna have a couple more years in him.
he
He gonna
plays for
have a
the Colts now.
Yeah, he just got signed with the Colts.
I
Playing
didn't
with
even
Kenny
know
Moore.
that.
Kenny Moore the second,
Nice.
and he's another honorable mention
Kenny Moore is a dog.
for sure. For sure. Let's get into this. Let's get into to this. I can't wait for this one, man. We're gonna get into this Genie Bus situation with the LA Lakers, man. We're
Oh
gonna have to
man.
run down. We're gonna have to run down what's going on with them, how they get back into the postseason expectations for the Story franchise. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, that was a failed season. I want to hear your take on this first before we get into it. I want to hear it.
Like I say, before I speak on the LA Lakers, I have to say I am an LA Laker fan. Just want to put that out there, LA Laker fan. But first off, we need to stay healthy. Injuries was the number one problem last year. Any super team that joins together the first year don't typically work. You got the Boston Celtics who did it in the '08. Since then, there's been a lot of super teams and not many of them were able to get it done year one. The Warriors, that's another exception with KD. Um, and we're talking about from top down a lack of leadership. You could say from top down a lack of effort, like to step in and do something about it during the trade deadline last year. To step in and say, Rob or LeBron is your say. Which one? It can't be both. Um,
Hmm.
and then even to the coach, if you're gonna then rock with Russ. If you're not, then don't. the inconsistencies is just too much. I know Russ gets a lot of the blame, and I know he can lead. I know he can, what we're gonna say. We're gonna say Russ can't shoot. They're gonna sag off of Russ. Russ need turnover. Yes, he does need to do all those things. Like I'm not gonna sit here and not acknowledge the fact that he does lead the league in turnovers year in and year out. But we're also gonna talk about LeBron doing it as well. LeBron's role, Russ's role, AD's role, all needs to change with them playing with each other. AD is typically always trying to play the 4 position. He needs to buckle down and play that 5. This is small ball basketball. We need you to play the 5 to maximize our spacing. When it comes to LeBron's role, you're trying to go out here and win scoring titles. Nah, be the facilitator that you always been. Make Russ play off ball because you know he's not much on ball up until this point in his career. Like you have to develop it, help him develop his game. LeBron also talking about de facto GM, someone who orchestrated this team. When we say there's no shooters, that's partially Rob Pelinka and LeBron James' fault. Jeannie Buss. They have to take blame for that. But the ways it can get better: defense, getting out in transition, injuries, and better leadership. What's your take?
This was tough because we heard these stories on Kyrie and LeBron are gonna get back together. Kyrie and KD is going to LA, right? That's the quote unquote, that was the headlines at one point. And now the headlines is that LeBron, Westbrook, and AD got on the phone. We're gonna stick this out. Let's all play together. Why didn't that happen last year? You said LeBron needs to not worry about scoring titles and become where he doesn't have the shooters and he doesn't have that third guy that he can count on when AD isn't in the lineup, because unfortunately, AD, we can count on him being out for a certain period of time. And for him, he should be AD is still a superstar, but he should be dominating this league. He was dominating on the Pelicans because he had to, but when he went to LA, it was for him to take over. It was supposed to be like that D Wade let LeBron take over, but D Wade was that slasher that can still, he can cut to the basket, he can get you that mid-range, he'll play defense. So AD was supposed to be that guy that was supposed to take over from LeBron. LeBron's supposed to pass the torch to him. And he hasn't been able to do that because AD hasn't accepted that role yet. But also he hasn't been healthy enough to really even take that role over, right?
You think he's just
No, he hasn't taken the torch yet. Until he starts dominating, I'm talking
2020, I mean? 2020 championship.
Come on now.
Go look at his numbers.
Come on now. It's a bubble championship. Okay. Give him the bubble championship. Okay, Lakers, you got it. You got it.
That's fair.
Whatever. No one wanted to be there. But
that's a part of what was so amazing.
No one wanted to be there. No one wanted to be there. Everyone, give him the bubble championship. Whatever.
I agree.
So Russ needs to change his game. He needs to come out on the defensive end. He needs to cut down the turnovers for sure. He needs to work on his jump shot. But also they need to get him involved. They need to find a way to set up plays for him to be involved in the offense that is kind of catered to his game. And we noticed that LeBron is also working on his jump shot, which is great because he understands that he can't do the things he used to do. But they also need shooters and they also need big men. Thomas Bryant ain't going to do it. He's not going to cut it. I think he's about 6'9". They need to bring in guys like the JaVale McGee's, like the Dwight Howards. I really think if they can afford it to bring in Montrell coming off the bench, you still got a guy that but you still got a guy that could come in and he gives you that dog. He gives you that fight that you want that they're missing.
Right.
These guys that they brought in, they're just not good. They're just not them. They're not a Jordan Poole. They're not a Michael Bridges. They're not a Brunson who stepped up and played very well for Dallas. They're not a what's the dude that plays for Milwaukee? A Portis that comes off the bench and you can count on him to be that guy. They're not those guys yet, right? And that's what the Lakers need. They need some dogs and they need some leadership because LeBron can't do it on his own because they kind of resent. I feel like a lot of players resent him.
That.
They resent him a little bit because LeBron can't do it on his own.
He unfortunately hasn't been doing anything on his own. He's been playing offense on his own.
I understand that because he can't compliment it on the defensive end because they have no one else on the offense to help him out. Westbrook wasn't scoring the ball like he's supposed to.
But you could argue the lack of shooting makes Westbrook not be able to score the ball like he used
to. So then that goes back to your point where we got to look at Genie, we got to look at Rob Pelinka, we got to look at the coaching staff. We have to look at, unfortunately, LeBron. But and this is my point is that a lot of people resent LeBron because he's that guy, So if they win, it's LeBron. LeBron gets the trophy. No matter what they do, LeBron gets it, right? Mm-hmm. When you looked at Jordan, Jordan was that guy, but we were like, oh man, he was complimented by Kukos. He was complimented by the shot from Steve Kerr. He was complimented from Scotty, right? Mm-hmm. But anytime you hear LeBron winning, it was LeBron that led them there, right? He still got the glory, and I think guys are like, nah, because we don't want to play with LeBron. We're not. It's just like that phrase of we're not afraid of him anymore, so we just want to beat him down. You see when guys dunk on him now, they got a showboat. Oh, I dunked on LeBron, but the man's 37 years old. You wasn't dunking on him when he was 28, right? You wasn't doing this when he was winning rings with D Wade, right? You see, it's a little different now. It's unfortunate. No one wants to really play with him, but they need those pieces that can, they need some dogs on their team.
I feel like that's the sacrifice. That's what comes with the territory when you're trying to build these super teams out here. You're not going to be able to fill your roster in the way you want to. And on top of that, you're talking about coming together as a team with more stars. With more stars, you're talking about bigger egos. The bigger egos, you're talking about narrative controllers. And when narrative controllers are in the building, it's harder for younger guys to develop in a proper manner. As a Laker fan for the last, I've been a Laker fan for a while, but for the last 4 years, it's been very difficult seeing the talent that we acquired just gone. Assets that we acquired, that we built, in a sense, just be gone for nothing or for pennies on the dollar. I believe that yes, Jordan did. You say that he coach got credit for this, Scotty got credit for that, but I really don't believe so. I believe Jordan got, like, if you look at Last Dance, the way that was portrayed, Scotty, you could argue that made Scotty come out more so aggressive with his talk on what the Bulls were throughout the years. Jordan was that guy. You're right. LeBron is that guy. You're right. They're going to get credit for this. They're going to get credit for that, good or bad. But I believe we can't say certain things like LeBron can't do it by himself. LeBron ain't doing it by himself. AD was a top 5 player in 2020. D Wade was a top 5 player in 2013.
Like, okay, I get that, but okay, but why didn't why isn't AD able to take over? Why isn't he able to take over like he's supposed to? Why isn't he
Injuries and injuries
dominating
alone.
the league like he's supposed to?
When he's
That's
not
not LeBron's fault. LeBron
injuries.
sees the talent. He's giving him the key. He's like, I'm handing this to you.
But but what did he do? You act like he dropped the keys. He won a championship.
It's a bubble
Was a
championship.
crucial
It's a
like, and
bubble
he's been
championship.
but he's been hurt since then. Or LeBron has. Like what is he supposed to do? It's not like he has a lack of skill or mentality. That has yet to be proved. Like or for debate. Like against the Joker, he went head to head. He hit game winning shots. He hit clutch shots to help them get to the finals. He's tried to battle through injuries. It's not like he just sits out like Ben Simmons or Kawhi. Like he tries. Like his mentality isn't under question. It's just his durability, and durability is a matter of luck and yes, preparation. But your preparation isn't 100%. You have to be lucky in a sense or blessed, however you chop it up.
Well, we're gonna have to get on this topic another day, man.
For sure, for sure.
Because and I'm glad you brought up Ben Simmons, man. They throw a lot of dirt on his name, but
Hmm.
I believe in the dude.
I
We're
do
gonna have
too.
to get on him one of these days because
For
I
sure.
think he should be dominating this league as well.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into our last topic here. What we got?
We got the in-season tournament the NBA is speaking on. They
Mm.
haven't given too much detail, but it's supposed to start potentially in 2023-2024 season. And the big question that I want to raise for us to answer is how will this affect players' legacies going forward? The spit.
Um, I don't see the point of it. I was doing some research on it. I just don't see the point. So
Mm,
it says that it's going to cut down the season to 78 games, but you know, there's going to be an in-season tournament to kind of bring in that to, and then there's going to be an incentive of $1 million to the winning team.
mhm.
I just don't see the point. I mean, a lot of guys they're low managing now. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna low manage more on the regular season games, and then all the guys are gonna be there. Oh, it's tournament time. Let's lock in. Oh, it's playoff time. Let's lock in. If you're gonna cut the games down, cut the games down. I mean, I don't think you should be cutting the games down, but I just don't see the real point of it. I think it's just kind of like a money grab. It's just something new. You already have the play-in tournament, which is working very well. You might as well just keep it and run with it
Mm,
and see where it goes from there. I mean, I don't see the point. If you're gonna cut the games, cut the games.
feel it. I feel it, man. First off, I feel like they should do what they've done before, which is allow this new rule or this new change to be incorporated within the G League's season.
Mm.
Sort of what they did with the playing tournament, being able to see how that's gonna go down. The playing tournament to me is it's hurting in the sense it's hurting these guys' legacies. Like you're talking about teams when you're saying, "Oh, they didn't make the playoffs." Now you're saying, "Oh, they didn't even make the play in." Like
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
you're giving these
That's
guys
true.
more opportunity to even get to the promised land. Like it's just the road is becoming a little bit easier in a sense. And I feel like it becomes harder to compare era to era when you have these different rules incorporated. It's sort of like the 3 point line. Jerry West never was able to partake in the 3 point line, but his numbers are out this world.
Hmm.
Imagine the debate if he did partake in the 3 point line. Like he might have won more championships. Like we don't know, but it's just like things like that that really change the game in a drastic way, and I feel like it will change debates going forward. Um, I believe it's a money grab, like you were saying. You alluded to it. The fan base, the owners, they're going to benefit the most from it.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, the players, you're talking about putting players in a situation with high leverage, high pressure situations before the playoffs. That's preparing superstars for the moment before the moment arises. But I don't feel like that $1 million is enough of an incentive. I believe something along the lines of the winning team or the higher seed, top four seeds get playoff home court throughout the first two rounds of the playoffs. Something like that's an incentive that a team really can benefit from, as opposed to the individual getting $1 million.
Yeah, and then it's also like weird timing as well. Like they were saying, like it's gonna be. I don't know if it was like before the All Star break or right
Mm-hmm.
after. It's just like how are you gonna incorporate that? Like how many teams gets the tournament games? Does all teams
Mm-hmm.
get the tournament games? Just 8 teams get the tournament games? Like who's playing in the tournament? How many
And
games in a
why?
row? How many games in a row is the tournament? Is it single elimination, double
Mm-hmm.
elimination? Like it just doesn't make any sense. And yeah, like for what?
Mm-hmm. It is real. Players like players aren't really able to flex their power as much, but I think they're about to, because like when you're speaking on cutting the season, the tournament is in place to replace the game that would have been cut. See, this is a way the owners are trying to cover their ass by promoting a tournament to counter the players' push on having less games. And I'm not against having less games, because I'm pressing the MLB. I'm like, yo, y'all need to chill out with all these
Yeah, the hundred
games.
and what is
Yeah,
it,
it's
100
just
like 60, 130, something
it's
like that?
it's it's way too much. I would say about 70 games, 65 to 70 games is more than enough. But something has to replace those 10 to 17 games that you're missing.
So the players got to play more games. I can't. You can't have LeBron playing 50. I mean, a guy like LeBron. LeBron is also a lot older, but you can't have a KD or Kyrie or Giannis. James Harden. Those guys playing 50 games, 60 games. They're missing a quarter of the season. Damn near, damn near a quarter of the season.
Yeah. And they've been doing this for years. Like players played all 82 or all 70
and they and
year
they're
in, year
not in
out.
and they're not in the shape that they're in 10 times better shape than the players were back in the day. And those guys are playing 82, 82 plus games. They're
Better
definitely bigger.
shape.
They're definitely bigger, faster, and stronger.
Does that imply you're in better shape though? You could argue your body breaks down faster because you're bigger, stronger, and faster.
That may be true.
Oh
That may
gosh,
be
we're gonna have
true.
to get that's gonna be a juicy topic going forward. We're
Yeah,
gonna get into
we're gonna
that.
have to talk about that. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to talk about it. But we're gonna wrap this one up.
for sure, for sure. Good
Definitely a
one.
good episode. We're
Yeah,
gonna be back with
interesting
another
episode
one.
for sure.
We appreciate
Definitely.
everybody for listening in. And
Mm-hmm.
until next time, peace.
Y'all stay up. Let's see.